whenever we say that, yeah, whenever we say Indian society, generally it comes to our mind that suppose if I ask you a question, that how do you describe Indian society? And probably you would take a lot of hints, right? And you would say that Indian society composed of caste system, Indian society composed of religion, society composed of a different economy, Indian society composed of a rural structure, village structure, family structure, and so on, right? So these are all the, the social organization. So we are saying each entity is a social organization, right? So all this social organization, when we merge together, that forms a base for Indian society. That forms a base for Indian society. So in this class, what I'll try to introduce a topic for you is, so what constitutes Indian society and what constitutes the base for social organization in India. So we are taking the clue from religious sources, right? When we say a society, and generally we are saying a religion one aspect, caste system another aspect, marriage system. For example, in India, the marriage, the organization and marriage as an institution is very different from other societies, right? And this is where when marriage system is so strong in India, right? When somebody marries the other, so that bondage, go for long, until their death, right? So whereas in other societies, open societies and Western societies, this sort of a marriage system you can't see, so because there are a lot of live-in relationships, a lot, that much religion is added to that marriage entity. But whereas when it comes to in India, that religion plays a crucial role in all sort of social activities, be it marriage, be it a caste system, be it occupations, be it social relations and interactions between society, and be it village social structure, and so on. So what we are trying to understand is that in this class, we'll take a hint from religion, right? We'll take a hint from religion in order to understand the Indian social structure, right? So when I say religion, so do we have a single religion in India? No. Indian society composed of a different sort of religions, right? So we have the major form of religion is Hinduism, as you all know that fact. And another the religions include in minority status is that Christianity, and we have Islam, for example, and we have Sikhism, Zoroastrians, and so on, Buddhism also. So all these religions forms a base for Indian society. And we cannot just take Hinduism and trying to depict the Indian society. It's not that. So we have to take the hint from all the religion, the beliefs and religion institution, and I know that forms a base for Indian society, isn't it? So therefore, Indian society is clearly and cleverly and coherently, rather very in a easy manner, so convincingly, right? Convincingly is depicted as unity in diversity. So why we are using the diversity? Because we have a different religions. That those different religion, each has a different set of norms and religious practices, right? So those belief systems are different. Yet that unity exists at the larger level. That unity that is defined as a form of a nation entity in the larger discourse of India, right? So in this class, what we are trying to understand that first we'll discuss the Hinduism as one entity, and after discussing what constitutes Hinduism and what are the major features of religion, no, what defines to be or to being a Hindu, right? What defines to be and being a Hindu? So we take the help from religious sources, trying to understand Hindu religion, isn't it? This is clear. So after that, what we're trying to understand is that after discussing this aspect, we'll go to another religion. So, for example, we will go to Islam as a religion, and we'll go to Buddhism as a religion, Christianity as a religion, Zoroastrianism as a religion. So all these religions will keep discussing one after the other. So now I'll begin the class by introducing the subject to you. What constitute Hindu social organization? Right? So what constitutes Hindu social organization? In this particular set of unit and rather the component. So we'll be discussing about the concepts of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and karma and samsara, for example. The how those aspects are relevant to the social structure. In other words, how this Hindu belief system defines social structure, and how the social structure again defines Hindu religion. There is a mutual interaction between these two, right? The structure and the religion. So we'll try to understand this component today, right? So after discussing that, we'll discuss about the what in the Hindu religion, and we will go to another aspect within the Hindu religion is marriage system. We'll discuss that aspect also, right? So and again the family is a very peculiar one. So family also we'll discuss, right? So we'll keep discussing one after the other. In the concept of Hindu as a social religion, isn't it? Is it clear for you? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah. In case if you have any questions, you can always stop me and ask questions, and so that we can have a discussion, right? So let's this the class is not a monotonous, so it should be a dialogical process, whereas you can also ask questions, raise some questions so that we can have a discussion on that, right? So when I'm talking about the Hindu religion, uh, we have generally speaking, right? The process of what constitutes the first. Let me explain the what constitutes organization. So why we are saying religion as an organization, right? What is organization? The organization means that process of doing things in an orderly fashion is called organization. The process of doing things in an orderly fashion, that's order, right? So how that order derives, it derives from the textual sources, right? For example, you take the example of university as an organization, right? And you can take the example of a different institutions. Whatever you see, those are all organizations, because those organizations are defined by set of rules and regulations, right? So once those rules and regulations are defined, the social individuals, those who practice that, those who are part of that religion, they are told to, they are trained to follow the rules, practice, norms of the organization. Similar, so whenever we do and things in an orderly fashion, that the component is defined as organization, right? So, for example, university is an organization because it has some rules and regulations, right? Every day you come to the class, teacher will teach you, and after that, exams will conduct, and you'll get marks, and and so on. These are an all orderly fashion, right? So every year it keeps on happening the same event again and again. So when the same event happens again and again, that orderly in an orderly fashion, that aspect is called, that institution is called organization, isn't it? So organization has rules and regulations. It has some set of predetermined rules, norms, belief systems, and so on. So that the social individuals and who are part of that organization, they are trained, they are socialized based on the norms and belief systems of the organization. So when an individual, when he is habituated to behave in an orderly manner, when again and again, so that institution is called organization. Therefore, we are saying religion is an organization because religion has certain rules and regulations. For example, you go to a temple, right? You go to a temple, you tend to behave in a very orderly fashion. You're not expected, or you're not allowed to behave differently, right? Everyone is allowed to behave in a particular manner, and where so that you don't deviate from the norms of the organization. So this religion as a component, it derives from the its rules and regulation from the textual resources. So what is textual resources? Who have written these textual resources? You may ask me this question because every religion has a textbook. You take the example of Christianity. Christianity has a Bible as a source of text. Islam, you have a Quran, right? So again, Buddhism, it has its own textbooks, right? So again, Hinduism also, it's a very complex religion. It doesn't have a single text, but it has a variety of text. Those are called Vedas, for example. Those are called Upanishads. Those are called Mahabharata, for example, Ramayana. And we take different moral stories, so from different textual sources that defines the behavior of the individuals of Hinduism, isn't it? So whatever, so for example, so the festivals are derived from the literary sources. So during the festivals, everyone is expected to behave and go through the norms of the and norms and religious practices of the organization, isn't it? Therefore, we are saying Hinduism is a really organization because it has some rules and regulations. It has some predetermined rules and regulations. Why we are saying predetermined? Predetermined means already written, already written. So who has written this? So it has written by various scholars, various pundits. Sometime thousands of years ago, right? All these Puranas, all these Vedas, all these, they define the rules of the organization. And we are taking the hint from those literary texts and we are following that. And those who unfollow those religious practices and in fact, we have a lot of, now we have a lot of, movements have come up, particularly during the time of Bhakti movement or even in independent India, there are a lot of discussion happening on the religious practices religious practices. For example, even in Hinduism, there's a lot of people came forward to question the practices of Hinduism. Those practices, that promote unequal relations in the society. Those practices that actually promote caste system in the society. Those practices that promote untouchability in society. Now people are coming forward to question those practices. To question those practices, isn't it? So now things are changing, and those who follow those who follow those religious practices, they are happy with that religion. But those who unfollow those religious practices and belief systems, they are coming forward and protesting against the religion, right? Therefore, Hinduism is an organization. Hinduism is a social organization. Why we are saying social organization? Because the organization is governed in society, governed by society, governed for society, isn't it? So therefore, this organization is called social organization, right? So now what we are trying to understand is now is that, so I hope you understood that why Hinduism is called a social organization. Now we'll go into the deeper part of Hinduism. So what constitutes Hinduism? Okay. Now when we speak of social organization, we talk about the arrangements of actions which conform with the norms and values of society. Thus, to understand the social organization of a particular society, in this case, Hindu society, we need to study the systematic ordering of social relations, including changes that have taken place over time to time, right? So, so what now we'll try to understand what forms ideological basis for the Hinduism. Okay, for the Hinduism, the religious concepts of the Hindus give us the ideological basis of the ways they organize their socio-economic activities, their festivals and rituals. We have therefore need to discuss, this components of Hinduism. right? So Hinduism, as you all know that, is one of the oldest religions in the world, isn't it? It is a religion followed by several racial and ethnic groups and caste communities in India. The Hindu sacred textbooks deal with the ethical behavior of an individual, of a family, and of society in general, right? So they also discuss and prescribes rules, rules of administration, politics, and statesmanship, legal principles, and statecraft. The rules of conduct apply to personal and social life, right? Now we'll discuss this all these details, in a coherent manner, right? So the concepts of the dharma, artha, kama, moksha, though these are all, we are using very common language, but these four concepts define majorly Hinduism. These four concepts, right? So a life of righteousness for a Hindu is possible through the fourfold scheme of practical endeavor. It comprises the concepts of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Dharma means what? Dharma is honest and upright conduct of righteous action. Artha means a righteous and honest pursuit of economic activities. Kama means it is the fulfillment of one's normal desires. And moksha means it is a liberation, it is a liberation that is absorption of the self into eternal bliss. Right? Right? Uh, it is related to this, all these components are related to this. The four concepts are the karma and samsara. Depending upon one's deeds, that is karma, one is able to reach the stage of moksha or liberation. The stage of moksha or liberation is a term for describing the end of the cycle of birth and rebirth. The cycle of birth and rebirth is known as samsara. What is samsara? The cycle of birth and rebirth is known as samsara, right? Therefore, the Hindus believe that each human being has a soul and that this soul is immortal. It does not perish at the time of death, right? The process of birth and rebirth goes on until moksha is attained, right? This cycle of transmigration is also known as samsara, which is the arena where the cycle of birth and rebirth operates. Once birth and rebirth in a particular state of existence is believed by the Hindus to be dependent on the quality of one's deeds, karma, for a Hindu, the issue of liberation is of paramount significance, right? So let us now discuss the aspects of karma and samsara, right? So what is the meaning of karma and what is the meaning of samsara? Let us discuss these aspects in some detail. The concepts of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha are related to tenets of karma and samsara. Karma is a word used for all activity or work. Samsara is the term used for the arena where the cycle of birth and rebirth continues to operate until one attains liberation. This is also called the theory of incarnation or punarjanma. Actions are divided into good or bad on the basis of their intrinsic worth. Good deeds bring fame, merit, and are the path to heaven, whereas bad deeds bring notoriety and lead to punishment and life in hell. It is recognized that An individual's overall an individual's overall position in a future life depends on the way he or she lives the present one. This belief, which gave a positive or negative value to certain actions, and those are developed into a general theory of actions, and therefore these actions are called karma theory. What is karma? It's an action, whether it is good or bad. Suppose if you do good deeds, you'll get good fame and good status. But if you commit for a bad deeds, you will receive the karma in return, right? So this Hinduism believes in karma theory. Hinduism believes in karma theory, right? So the concept of karma is fully developed and woven into the belief in rebirth, which in turn is related to the belief concerning heaven, hell, and moksha. An individual's fate after death is determined by the sum total of grades and attributes of his or her actions or deeds during his or her life. Better birth and status is obtained if there is a surplus of many good deeds in a person's life. Otherwise, one's status falls in the next life. Another related belief is that world moves in a cyclical process. That is, birth and death follow one another. By following one's karma prescribed within the fourfold scheme of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, an individual strives to get out of this otherwise infinite cycle processes of birth and death. Depending on one's previous and present karma, one prospers or suffers in this world. Later, after death, he either gains a heaven or is punished with life in hell. Thus, a human being after death may become a denizen or inhabitant. Right? So, thus, a human being after death may become a denizen of what I'm trying to indicate is he may become denizen or inhabitant of heaven or hell, maybe reborn as an animal or even reborn as a tree, right? So all this depends on one's karma. An individual usually wanders through many births till he or she finds final release or moksha. This belief dominates the Hindu social organization. Okay, the karma theory matters a lot, right? Even today, even in our belief system also, as you might have seen that if someone dies, right? So we celebrate 11th day, and we also celebrate anniversary, and we also offer food. Why? Because on that day, that soul comes again. He touches us. He or she touches us. He eats that food. So this belief, why? Because that death happened only to a body, not the soul. Soul is immortal. This belief is promoted by Hindu sociology. He may be reborn again and again. He may be reborn in the family. He may be reborn as a tree or as an animal. We do not know. Thus, this belief is strictly practiced by Hindu social organization. This karma theory plays a dominant role in Hindu social organization, friends. Then how it is related to Hindu social structure? The belief in karma and dharma has direct relevance to Hindu social organization, which is based on an arrangement of caste into a graded order. This hierarchy in return is linked with the quality of one's karma. One can say that if one's actions are good, one will be born in a higher caste in the next birth. So Hindu society is supposed to be governed by rather strict rules of caste behavior. They are, on the other hand, some general rules governing the behavior of all members irrespective of caste. Caste coexist with different norms, with different norms of behavior and a continuity with the past in terms of one's actions in the previous birth. Whatever position one may be born into, one must fulfill the functions without attachment, without hatred or and resentment. Whatever may be one's dharma, its performance through one's karma brings blessings. Therefore, in Hinduism, each person has a duty, that is dharma, appropriate to one's caste and one's station in life. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means what? For example, if a person is born into a barber caste, according to karma, he is not allowed to do any other work. He is forced to do the same barber work. If a person is born into a Dalit family and this karma theory treats him as a untouchable and promoted by the belief system of the Hindu social organization, right? So this karma theory promotes good for the upper caste, it promotes bad for the lower caste, as simple as that. And it promotes graded inequalities. It promotes graded inequality. And those who are happy with the system, they're celebrating the karma theory. Those who are not happy with the system, they're condemning the karma theory. If a person is born into a lower caste, if he's forced to do scavenging work, for example, now of course in many parts of India, those practices are banned. But of course, in some parts of India, the system is still prevalent. So lower caste people are coming forward. They are questioning the karma theory. They are questioning the karma theory. They are saying that what is this karma? Why we have to follow this? When the karma theory teaches inhuman things, when the karma theory promotes inhumanness between the social members of society, why we have to follow this? People are questioning it. Those who are happy, particularly the upper caste, those are happy with the system because this karma theory gives them the right to govern the lower caste because they are happy with that, because they get the status in the society, they enjoy privileges, they get social honor. Whereas the lower caste who are born in lower caste, they are questioning that. They are saying that who are you to govern us? Who are you to govern us? And who are you to promote rules and regulations in the society? Who are you to promote untouchability in society? They are now questioning, particularly women groups, irrespective of all castes. There it could be higher caste to upper caste women, or middle class women, or the lower caste women, or even the Dalit women. Now they are coming forward. They're coming forward to question this karma theory. They're now questioning the illogical practices of Hinduism, right? So what I'm trying to indicate here is that though this karma theory looks that this whatever the we are now understanding through literal sources, this is governing, no doubt, but there is also protest is also happening in the society that we should not forget. That we should not forget. Right? In other words, this Hinduism belief is derived from the literary sources, and now this dominant caste groups are taking the hint from the literary sources. They are they are promoting the ideology of Hinduism in society. But whereas those who are from the lower caste or those who are not happy with the system at all, they are questioning. They are now questioning. Right? So so this dharma, this artha,
kama, moksha, and the karma theory in particular, this whatever they are promoting, now people are coming forward to question these practices and beliefs, isn't it? So therefore, with each person, this Hinduism teaches is this, that each person has a duty, dharma, appropriate to one's caste and one's station in life, right? So, in other words, this untouchable person who is born into an untouchable caste, he is not allowed to learn Vedas, for example. He is not allowed to enter into temple, and those practices were existed. At least 50 years back or so. Even in those practices are still prevalent also in some parts of India. That see that why the strict regulations are enforced in society because of this religious beliefs and practices. Those beliefs and practices are derived from Hindu literary texts. Those literary texts are called Vedas, Upanishads, Itihasas, Samhitas, for example, Mahabharatam, for example, Ramayana, or you take any other religious. People are dominant groups are taking the hint from those texts. They are trying to project the ideology in the society. They are infusing that ideology in the society, and those ideologies are actually developing. Those ideologies are actually developing a base for what? Base for unequal society, unequal society, right? So, as mentioned before, the term dharma refers to honest and upright conduct or righteous action. Dharma has two concepts, one normative and the other naturalistic. We'll try to understand what does these two means. Okay, what indicates the normative and what indicates the naturalistic, right? The normative aspect refers to duty or path to be followed, right? This is the normative aspect. The naturalistic meaning implies the essential attributes of nature. For example, the dharma or nature of water is to flow. The Hindus believe that one must follow one's dharma to achieve ultimate liberation from the cycle of births and deaths in this world. An individual belongs to a family or a caste group, right, and has to perform his or her dharma in the sense of its naturalistic aspect accordingly. The main aim of one's following, dharma is to eventually achieve moksha or liberation. What does it mean? So, see, moksha or liberation. It means what? Suppose if a person is born into a Brahmin caste, so what is his dharma or duty? First he should learn Vedas. He should learn all the religious beliefs and practices so that he'll become teacher for entire society. He'll go and into the temple. He'll talk to God in the Sanskrit language, and he'll become a mediator between the devotee and the God, right? And therefore he performs the role of the priest. Suppose if he performs his duty as prescribed in the text, he'll get moksha. He'll get moksha because this Hinduism belief promotes that if you follow the rules and regulations of the norms of the particular caste, you'll get moksha. Similarly, the same if we apply to a lower caste, right? Suppose if a person is born into a Dalit, what is what sort of duties he's prescribed or assigned, that he should serve to he should serve the remaining caste, right? The upper caste. So as long as he performs his duty, he'll get moksha. But as long as he obeys to the rules and the norms of the untouchable practice, he'll get moksha. Now the untouchable person comes.
Sir, which unit is I'm sorry, but then which unit is this?
This is the first unit.
From the same textbook what we actually got
Yeah,
in the first
I'm, I'm
semester.
also I'm also adding another the literature so that you'll get an idea. Those are some those textbooks are like incomplete notes. So I'm adding another textual version to those understanding of that. So once you open those and read the text, you will get a clear understanding.
But in page number 15, there was, you have told dharma, artha, kama, moksha in page number 15.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And this class is composed of many units. Okay, so we have only 1 hour. So I'm trying to mix all those sources, and you have to understand that whenever you read the text, you'll understand.
Sure, sure, sir.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you have to just mix all these things. Okay, yeah,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
because we have given only limited time, so I'm trying to do justice, for this task. So trying to give a
Yeah,
max.
I quite understand.
Yeah, yeah, so that you'll understand the subject better. Okay,
Sure,
so
sir. Thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you, thank you. So the now a lower caste, suppose is coming forward and is saying that why you have to perform this task? Why have to become a scavenger for entire society? Why have to be treated as an untouchable? Now he's questioning that. Whereas the upper caste person says that no, 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 you have to follow the rules and regulations because based on the dharma. Suppose if you obey to the rules and regulations of Hindu social organization, you will get moksha. See this how this belief system is promoting this idea. So everyone is now told that you suppose if you follow the rules and regulations, if you don't question the rules and regulations of the Hinduism, you'll get moksha. You'll get moksha. Now people are saying, particularly from the lower caste, and particularly even the women groups also. Now why there is a protest from women groups to Hinduism? Why they are questioning? Why they are questioning? Because they are not happy with the rules and regulations of the organization. They are now coming forward. They are now coming forward. No woman is. Can we see any woman priest in the temple? No, she is not allowed to. Uh, Listen to Vedas or read Vedas, learn Vedas, and teach Vedas, isn't it? And no, she's strictly located to kitchen work only, right? And suppose if the woman comes forward and asks that, why you have to become a kitchen work only? Why have to do that? And the religious text says that no, 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 you have to become like this only. Suppose if you perform your duty well, you will get moksha in the next jannah. You moksha. So now people are coming forward to question this. Lot of women groups are coming forward. They are questioning the practices of religion. They are now questioning the practices of. They are also demanding for equal status. They are demanding for the humanity in society. And as you might have seen in your households also, and how women is being treated, and women is being treated as secondary citizenship, right? Suppose if there is a son and daughter, the first preference goes to his son, not the daughter, not the daughter. So because daughter is assigned only to particular task, what is the task? No, no, daughter is assigned to become a mother, first to wife to someone, then mother to child, and after that rearing to that child, upbringing to that child, and maintaining the affairs of the family, doing kitchen work and all. And when she attain the old age, and there are lot of problems, and now women groups are coming forward to question this. Why we have to restrict to home only? They are now coming forward. They are now coming forward in the streets. They are now saying that we will also learn. We will also study. We want education. We want employment. We will also do lot of course. And as the evidence shows that they are doing better, much better than women, men. They are doing much better than men, isn't it? So now people are coming forward. But whereas when you talk to for example, when you talk to your grandmother, right, those days, or even a mother also, those women are not allowed to come out. Lot of strict regulations, lot of strict regulations, right? And even in the times of, for example, periods, for example, menstrual cycle, this menstrual cycle, though it is a biological component, there's lot of religion ideas and ideology attached to that menstrual cycle. And particularly those 5 days, this woman is treated as untouchable. And as you might have seen that, right, that woman is not allowed to enter into kitchen. And particularly this happens more in the among the upper caste than the lower caste. That woman suffers even in the upper caste and in the lower caste also. That suffering is same, but compared relatively, there may be degrees of levels of separation and dominance may differ, but the oppression and suppression that woman undergoes is same across all the the caste ladder, right? So this woman now coming forward to question this karma theory, this question the dharma theory. The lower caste people are coming forward. Even the upper caste, even among the upper caste also, lot of social reformers are coming forward. They are now saying that no, there is something wrong with this. Something, these practices are promoting inhumanity in society. No, people are saying this. After a lot of protest in the society, after a lot of the deliberate protest and movements in society, when we got independence, at the time of independence, we drafted. Particularly, the credit goes to Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar. He said that no, this cannot be tolerated anymore. Therefore, he drafted a lot of points for the protection of minorities in India, for the protection of lower caste in India. Isn't it? That lot of this, suppose if somebody practices untouchability, now it is treated as crime. Why it is treated as crime? Why it is not treated as crime earlier? Because now we have coded that language in Indian Constitution. If somebody practices untouchability, those who are prisoned, those who are arrested and prisoned. Now why these things came in Indian Constitution today? It came today. It didn't came just from the sky like that. All those legislations, all those the acts, particular acts for the protection of the Dalits and women groups and minorities. All these things came after a deliberate protest in society. But you may ask me that what happened, after those enacting those laws and legislations in the Indian Constitution, in the Indian Constitution. Now, the question comes that though they are written in the Constitution, of course, those are not fully implemented. Still, in many parts of India, that those untouchable practices are still prevalent. In other words, why it is prevalent? Because this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and the karma theory is prevalent in society, is now governed in society. Right? Why those untouchable practices are existing? Why the woman is still treated as a lower to men in society is because of this belief system are prevalent and existed in dominant forms in Indian society. Even though that Indian Constitution enacted a lot of laws and legislations for the protection, for the eradication of untouchability in society, but still those practices are prevalent here and there in society because this karma theory, this moksha theory, this Hindu religion, the beliefs and system are prevalent in society. Isn't it? So the Hindu social organization, this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and the karma theory plays a dominant role in governing and promoting social relations and social interactions between individuals in society. Isn't it? Isn't it? Is it clear for you? Is it clear for you? Right? So, and therefore, Hinduism is one of the most ancient religions of the world. Its earliest, as I said, that literary productions were the Vedas, as I said, these 4 Vedas. These comprise what? This comprised hymns and ritual ceremonies of the early Aryan settlers, and who are a pastoral and agricultural people, right? These Upanishads we have, this Ramayana, Mahabharata. So whatever you see, right? Those, for example, the festivals that we are seeing in the streets today. These festivals, why do happen every year again and again? Because those practices are derived from the literary text. They happen again and again in an orderly fashion. You see, there is a systematic calendar, and that calendar is released every year. That Hindu calendar, and this calendar, is released based on the tithis and of the belief systems of the religious text. Some pandit will sit and he write everything, right? So today is this tithi, tomorrow is this tithi, and or someday is a Ganesh festival, for example, and another day is the Deepavali, and he describes all this, beliefs and practices. Then he releases in the society. Then what these dominant social groups in the Hindu religion does, they promote this ideology in the society. They say that tomorrow is a holiday because of some festival, or next month is on some days is a holiday because of the festival, and that festival means what? And indirectly or directly, it is being directed to all Hindu people that those people should follow rules and regulations of the particular festival. They behave in an orderly fashion, right? They get up early in the morning, they worship the god in the same orderly fashion. They offer, naivedyam, food to the god. They exchange that naivedyam between different people, right? So all this are orderly fashion. This orderly fashion, therefore, we are saying, when we are saying orderly, that becomes the characteristics of to become an organization. Therefore, we are saying Hinduism is a social organization, isn't it? So, see, along with in the Hindu religion, this marriage component plays a dominant role again, right? Why this marriage system plays a dominant role in Hinduism? Because marriage is sacred duty for all Hindus, as Hindus believe. It is an obligatory sacrament because the birth of a son is considered by many Hindus as necessary for obtaining moksha. See, the birth of a son is considered by many Hindus as necessary for obtaining moksha. Which means what? Which means, suppose if a girl is born, it means that parents will not get moksha. Only if a son is born, they'll get moksha. Till recently, what this those who believe in this religious, orthodox religions believe that the parents used to, they abort the child, and even and they used to kill girl child, right? A lot of practices happened because of these belief systems only. Now, after many protests by women groups, that there are now some laws came that even if some woman is pregnant, now no lab will detect the either boy or girl. Why this act came? Because earlier, what it used to happen, this labs and diagnostic centers, they used to tell before the before birth itself whether it is girl or boy. Suppose if it is a girl, this woman is forced by husband and the family members to abort that child, to kill that child. Because why? Because if a girl is born in that family, they will not get moksha. If a son is born in that family, they'll get moksha. See how cruelty is this? How cruelty is this? Now at least now things are changing. Now at least things are changing because of education and modernity. Even girls are now born in the family. They are now taken care of well compared to men in society of the entire affairs of the family. Now things have changed. Things are changing. Of course, they need to change a lot. Still, many miles to go in Indian society because these religious belief system are very much deep rooted, in DNA of individuals. It is not that much easy to bring a social change by overnight. It takes a lot of time. Whatever we are seeing change today, it took hundreds of years to bring that change in society. To bring that change in society. Now, girls are going to the education center. They are going for employment. They are becoming scientists and teachers and professors and so on, administrators. Now, this thing is happening, after a lot of change, out of lot of protest in society, isn't it? Now, Indian president is woman, for example, right? So, a lot of women are becoming union ministers also. They're becoming good administrators, IAS officers, scientists, and so on. This change, to bring this change, it took a lot of years in India. Of course, still many miles to go. Still many miles to go, right? So, this among this marriage system, as I said that the birth of a son is considered by many Hindus as necessary for obtaining moksha. In order to perform important rituals towards gods and ancestors, the sacred text decree that it is obligatory for a Hindu to be married and have male descendants. Today, a large number of Hindus may, however, not believe in and in practice these traditional ideas and associated customs. Why? Because the education now plays a dominant role. That modern ideas are now playing a dominant role. Therefore, many Hindus are not believing in this idea. Even girl child is also good. In fact, as I believe that many of my friends also, they are actually waiting for girl child. They want girl child because these things are changing. Things are changing, right? But of course, many things are yet to be changed. It takes a lot of time, and for the change to come in society, because in Hinduism is very complex and deep rooted in Indian society, because it is an ancient religion in one of the oldest religion in the world itself, right? And this Hinduism is governed and playing and a dominant role in India, right? So, so friends, with this point, I'll end this class. In the next class, we'll continue with the same topic, and we'll discuss even the other religious organizations also. And with this, I'll end the class. I hope you all enjoyed the class. Thank you once again for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Shooters.